Hey folks, how's it going? My name is Tony Berman, and I will be the instructor for this English 202 online course. I want to take a few minutes to just cover the nuts and bolts of the course. There are three things that I would like to talk about. Number one, I want to address the interface, how we will be using Canvas. Number two, I want to talk about the course content. I'll address the syllabus and the schedule. And then number three, finally, I want to talk about a typical week. You will have your materials due once a week, so I want to give you an understanding of what that means. So to get started, let's talk about the course interface. If you're watching this video, then I imagine that you were able to arrive here. That is, that you've arrived on the course homepage. And so you can see this introductory video that you're watching right now. You can see the overview of week one synopsis, and then you can see the schedule for the first unit. And so you can consider this homepage here as a landing pad of sorts. That is, each week this homepage is updated, and each week I'll give a brief synopsis of what we will be doing that week. And so if you just open your Canvas page, it'll take you to this landing pad. Now, if you want to get into the meat of each week, what you need to do is click on the link. And so, for example, for this week, we need to get into those week one materials, so we click here, and that will take us to a page that looks like this. Good news, I provide everything to you. And so when you click on that link, it will take you to all of the readings that you need to do, all of the videos that you need to watch, and it will also provide links to the assignments that I'm requiring you to do for any given week. So for example, if you look at week one, we have things, this is atypical, but we have materials due 2 times this week. We have materials due on Wednesday, and then we have some other materials due on Friday. And so if you look, I give you links to all of the materials for Wednesday, and then I give you links to the assignments for Wednesday. Similarly, I give you links to the materials for Friday, and I give you links for the assignments. So I have tried to make the course as straightforward as possible. You merely need to land on that homepage and then click the link to the week, and that will provide you all of the materials. Everything is a click away. And so in a sense, I've designed the interface to work really well on the computer, because you can have a number of windows open and you can be reading an article and responding to an assignment, etc. I understand that folks may be looking at this course on their phone, and it works on the phone, although there might be some clicking back and forth from one window to the next. So I hope that that makes sense. Okay, let's now dive into the course a little bit, and I want to address what the course is actually about. And to do that, I'd like to take you to the syllabus. And so if we take a look at that week one materials page, you'll see that I have a link here to the syllabus. And so let's talk about just a few things. Number one, I want you to see that I have my email address right up front, aberman@miracosta.edu. If you ever need to contact me, that's the fastest way to do so. You can just send me a direct email. I'm checking my emails throughout the day, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. Now, let's actually talk about the course. So, this is English 202 Critical Thinking and Composition. And let me do a little translation for you. When we think about that term composition, we can think of writing. And so this is a writing course. And when we think about the term critical thinking here, at least for our purposes, we can think of critical thinking with regard to persuasion. That is, how does writing persuade? In a sense, that's what this whole course is about. We're going to investigate how writing persuades. And so I've designed 4 units in the course. And if you skim the syllabus, you'll see that I give explanations of what we'll be doing each unit. Each unit takes about 4 or so weeks, although the final unit is a little shorter than the others. If you take a look at the syllabus, you can see that I give some details of what we'll be doing in each unit. Now, let me spend a couple of moments talking about grading. And again, I try to make my course as streamlined as possible, and you can see that here if you see where it says 100 points. The entire course is worth 100 points. And so there are 75 points for the 4 major assignments that you do. There are 15 points for the writing journals that are done each week, and there are 10 points for the discussion boards. And so I have tried to make it as simple as possible. The good news is this: I do embed extra credit opportunities in there. And so, for example, it's possible to get more than 10 points on the discussion boards, even though the discussion boards themselves are only worth 10 points. I hope that that makes sense. So don't let that scare you a little bit. Also, what I've tried to do is to be as clear as possible. And so if you look, and I'm again on that landing pad page, and you take a look at the schedule for the first unit, I'm giving you, the schedule's tentative. I may change things a little, but I'm trying to give you an understanding of what we'll be covering and how we'll be covering it. But the real point I want to make right now is that I've also tried to give you an understanding of the points that you'll be collecting throughout the weeks. And so if you look here, in these first 5 weeks, you'll collect 29 points. And so I hope that you can see that I've tried to kind of break everything down to make it as clear as possible. Now, let's take a look at what's happening in a typical week. Like I said previously, materials come in once a week. And when I say materials, I'm referring to a few things. You can expect that each week you'll be working on a major assignment. Maybe you'll be drafting materials, doing some readings. You'll be writing journals, and I'll be responding to all of the journals that you'll be providing me. And you'll be engaged in discussion boards. So there are 3 things that you're doing each week: working on the projects, doing those journals, and talking to each other. And so if we go back to this schedule here, you can see on the schedule that I'm trying to let you know how many points you're getting. And so you get 1 point for the writing journal, 1 point for the discussion board. When we come over here, you're working on a project and you're getting the draft material points there. And so hopefully this gives you an understanding of the points that you'll be receiving for each of the tasks that you'll be engaged in. Work comes in on Thursdays at noon. And I understand that for a lot of your online classes, things are coming in at midnight. But I choose this noon time because I need opportunity on Thursday afternoon to read through your materials and to take a look at how things are going so that I know exactly what we should be covering the next week. And so what I do is I look at and respond to all of the materials that come in at noon on Thursday, and then I open the next week's materials on Friday, no later than 5 p.m. And so that way the course is a little bit dynamic. I can actually put reviews in and I can address some of the work that people are uploading. And so we'll see how that goes. I've done it this way in the past and it's worked well. If you have any questions about what we need to do in the future or what we'll be doing in November, by all means send me an email and I can let you know. As we move through the course, you'll see that I'll post the schedule for each of the units as we get to the beginning of those units. So that gives you from Friday at 5 until the next Thursday by 12 noon to get through all of the materials for a given week. So I hope that that clarifies. So there you go. Welcome to English 202. If you have any questions right now, you can always email me. I'm looking forward to an exciting semester. Take good care.